Lesson 3. We learned about subject, verb, and object. Now, instead of the subject, like John or Iraj or Ariana, we can use subjective pronouns. These are subjective pronouns. I, you, he, she, it. We, you, they. We can say I work, you play, he sits, we work, you eat, they dance. We also have objective pronouns which come in place of the object. Me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. I like him. He likes me. I like you. I like him. You like us. You see me. I work for them. So these come in place of the object. We also have possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns is when something belongs to somebody. So we begin it with these words. My, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. We call them possessive pronouns. We'll use them in sentences. For example, we can say my pen, your hat, his cat, her coat, our house, your pencils, their house. More examples. My car, your home, his piano, her jacket, our kitchen, your lessons, their school, my lamp, your book, his paper. Her watch, its photo, our picture, your heater, their stove, my eyes, your nose, his ears, her hands, its feet, our fingers. Lesson 4. Present tense. This is now. We do something now. I work with him. Subject, verb, object. You work with me. He or she or it works. Notice that if this third person, we use S at the end of the verb. He, she, or it works with you. We work with them. You work with me. They work with us. I work with her. Subject, subjective pronoun, verb, object, objective pronoun. More examples. He knows me. Third person, S at the end of the verb. I know him. Lesson 5. Past tense. Something that happened in the past, like yesterday, 2 days ago, last week. For past tense, only our verb will change. We have two kinds of verbs. Regular, it's a regular verb. We add ed at the end of the verb to make it past tense. If it is irregular verb, we need to learn the format. For example, work is a regular verb, becomes worked. Each verb has three formats: present, past. We call this past participle. We'll learn it later. But for now, know there's for every word, for every verb, there are three formats: present, past, past participle. Dance, walk, listen, play, they're all regular verbs. So we add ed at the end of each one of these verbs. Dance has an E itself, so we just add D. But these other verbs that we look at now are irregular verbs. For example, eat, past becomes ate, third format becomes eaten. Write, wrote, written. Speak, spoke, spoken. Sing, sang, sung. Let's look at more examples of irregular verbs. Read, read, read. Notice that the past form of read becomes read, although it's spelled the same way. See, saw, seen. Hear, heard, heard. Let's use them in sentences for past tense. I ate my lunch. You ate your lunch. He, she, it ate. He ate his lunch. She ate her lunch. It ate its lunch. We ate our lunch. You ate your lunch. They ate their lunch. I spoke English. These are all past tense. More examples. You, subject, subjective pronoun, spoke verb. Persian, you spoke Persian. He or she or it spoke Turkish. We spoke Arabic. All of these subjective pronoun. But now here a subject. Ariana sang a song. She sang with Ryan. Now here, subjective pronoun, but the object is a person. We walked to school. We walked to school. They listened to me. I played with my sister. You worked with your brother. You is the subjective pronoun. Worked is the verb, the second format because it's past. Your neighbor is the object. You heard his speech. Lesson 6. Auxiliary verbs. Some verbs which we use them in a different format in order to, for example, change a sentence from positive to negative or interrogative. We need to have an auxiliary verb. If we don't have an auxiliary verb, we need to find one. We need to use one. For example, if we don't have one, then we use the word do. So these are called auxiliary verbs. Do, did, the third part becomes done. Can only has present and past. Can, could, have, had. Must only has present. Shall or will for future. Should or would. Another auxiliary verb which is a little different is the verb be. For the present, be becomes am, are, is. For past, it becomes was, were. For the third part, becomes been. Let's use them in a sentence. For example, we say, I am. You are. He, she, it is. We are. You are. And they are. More examples. I was. Now this is the past. I was. You were. He, she, or it was. We were. You were. And they were. Now a few sentences with auxiliary verbs. Now we say, I have a house. I can write. Notice here we have two verbs. Can is an auxiliary verb. Write is a regular verb. You could go. This is present. This is past. You could go is past. They must stay. Must is only present. Again, two verbs. Must is one verb, auxiliary verb. Stay is a regular verb. More examples. I will call him. He must talk to me. You should write to me. They had 3 sisters. She could, or she should, speak up.